And recap from last time. You are currently 6 months in the past from the prime timeline of Talus. Each of you have come back in time because this is the best opportunity you will ever have to set things right, to make amends, to avoid the mistakes or the pitfalls of the future. And so you have been back in time for about a week. The first task you had, the first quest that you were given by Dr. Dribbles was to seek out new places for the calamitous I will cut that out. Sorry. The calamitous objects or the cursed items, new homes for them. The current vault, Alpha, has been infiltrated in the past, and so there's concerns about its security and safety. So you went to search out one of the vaults by the name of Capstone, and found it to be an interesting option, and possibly a good one. You are now searching for the location or the entrance to Bastion. And what you know of Bastion is that it is located under the sea, or at least the entrance has been moved under the sea. And, of course, Jimmy's singing the song in his head. However, to get there, it seems like a simple task. Just have to go to the bottom of the ocean. No problem. So one way to do that is with magic. And the place you would normally go to get magic in Talus is the Invisible Hand. They are the guild, the secretive guild of magic users and practitioners, magicians of many renowns. And normally, the Visible Hand, while being secretive, isn't hard to find. As a matter of fact, Galan has had some interactions with them in the past, and they also were known to have a bar of their own called the Phoenix. However, this is the past, and things seem to have changed since your arrival. For whatever reason, magic has become, if not outlawed, at least dangerous. It seems that a potential coup against the Trascan Empire has caused the Comarch of the Trascan government to issue warrants for practitioners of magic. And the Invisible Hand has gone underground. So you have found that they have relocated somewhere safe. And that safe place is a very strange choice, because they are currently underneath the Talus equivalent of Chuck E. Cheese. A place called the Kaleidoscope, a children's entertainment palace with games and music and animatronic singing. But that all is a front for something a little bit more devious, because once you were able to connect with a few of the members of the Invisible Hand, you were taken beneath the ground to a subterranean bunker-style location where there were beds and there were computer monitors and large comm displays. It looked like a danger center or a communications center, and there were some of the magic users in a conference room with a very strange individual, which you were introduced as Mr. Dolomite, a seemingly animated statue, something that Liam found familiar. The connection is not clear to him yet, but there is something about this statue, this living statue, that has triggered a little bit of a memory in his mind. What Dolomite said was that if you need the help of the invisible hand, he needs something of yours, something that you can do for him that he cannot currently do himself. And that is to deliver a message to the Comarch himself that the invisible hand had nothing to do with the assassination attempt. Only challenge is that you have to get all the way into Centerhold, the stronghold at the top of Talus, where the current government resides, and find the Comarch without tripping any alarms or causing too much damage, to deliver this message and then get back out safely. No problem. And so that is where we left it. I would ask you, what would you guys like to do?
I think we had just sent a guard up to get Faye from the alley, right?
Correct. Yeah, you wanted to talk to her about this.
Oh, and I accompanied her, the guard, because I didn't think Faye would believe just the guard.
Okay. So, Faye, you're still on the outside. You're in the alleyway. One of the employees of the Kaleidoscope and Liam have just opened the door, and you see them clearly silhouetted in the light, that they look like they're looking for you.
Do I see Fazire, though?
That's a good question. Fazire, does he see you?
I don't know, does he?
Are you trying to hide?
Of course.
Then let's see if he does. Why don't we get 1 second here? Why don't we get a roll? You can give me a stealth roll if you'd like.
There's no way. Yeah, I can't even get to a 29 with perception or investigation. So. Liam's just kind of looking around like, Faye, are you here somewhere?
I'm going to come up behind him right in his ear and go, "What's up?"
Oh, that's terrifying.
It's super fun.
We have they have a proposition for you that we need to discuss. Since you obviously are the best at sneaking around, and there's a situation where your talents may be needed. Well, not may, they are needed.
Okay. Do we trust these guys?
Sure, I trust them as much as much as we need to.
Okay. Lead on.
All right. So
I may or may not follow.
The
I'm gonna always constantly be turning around to check if she's there, but I figure that I won't see her.
You probably won't see her. It's not terribly well lit in the back rooms of this Chuck E. Cheese, and you find that she finds the shadows very, very easily.
I just envisioned me doing one of those cartoon things where it's he turns one way and I just kind of, duck behind him and then exactly.
Yep.
And you probably shouldn't describe it as the back room of the Chuck E. Cheese.
I mean, it's descriptive, whether it's...
It's very evocative.
Room you get into through the back. So it is definitely a back room.
It's the birthday room.
The special birthday room.
And so, you find your way back down the strange portal into the lower chamber. And while this is happening, Galan, Zizkek, Aalan, Eldrick, all of you are still with Dolomite, but you see that he is not the only animated statue wandering around. And he takes this opportunity to notice that you're looking around, and he says,
"You look like you have questions."
Well, are you made of stone?
The face, which has no expression to it till that point, turns a wry smile, just a corner of the mouth up a little bit, and says,
I believe I'm made of stone, but I am also made of a soul. Are you made of flesh?
Probably.
I wonder if your flesh were not here, would you be here? What happens if you were turned to stone? Would you still be you? Even if you could move?
Maybe? Were you always stone?
I do not know. I do not remember. I know something of my past, but not this. Is it important that I know these things? Or is it more important that I be who I am here and now?
I guess it doesn't matter, really. Unless it matters to you?
Where I come from, we ask questions to learn things. It is a practice of ours. I ask questions to learn things about you, and you ask questions to learn things about me. And in the end, we probably learn things about the universe itself.
Where do you come from?
I think this body comes from a place in the past. A place not here, but somewhere called Greece.
You know, if we think about it, don't we all come from the past?
That was surprisingly insightful.
Well, where does your soul come from?
I don't know if anyone has an answer to that question, but we are certainly seeking it. We ask ourselves, what does it mean to be alive? What does it mean to create? What does it mean to destroy? And our answers tell us much about what we truly value in life.
What does it mean if you're swallowed by a dragon?
He looks to you and he leans down a little bit and he says,
Perhaps it means that you have been reborn.
Yeah, but I already knew that.
Then again, perhaps it just means that you are very tasty.
I also knew that.
How did you know that one?
I'm a goblin. Goblins are delicious.
Leans back up.
Yeah, pausing for a moment out of character. I'm not really sure where to go with this character.
Okay.
Our main goal was to figure out how to go under the sea, right? Or are we under the sea? We're not under the sea already. No, we're looking for a way to get there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, and if they had basically promised if we helped them, they would help us. So right now, I think we're just killing
They
time.
being people who can magically assist us getting under the sea.
Right.
Maybe this guy can help us as well.
He is the one who's going to help us. Were you here for the review?
I'm just recapping everything.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes these quests are a little bit circuitous and they take paths, and sometimes those paths they look a lot longer than they really are. This one probably looks like a huge detour. It's not. I will say that there's a lot of establishing and foundational information you can get from this quest line and this character that would answer questions you guys have already asked but don't know the answers to. So it is tied in, even if it doesn't look like it.
Why is it that the Traskins don't like magic?
They didn't dislike magic until recently. Magic is profitable, and the Traskins are all about profitable trade. But the Comarch has become paranoid, is the word I would use. He has seen something. He knows something. He just may not know the right thing. The message you will deliver to him will put him on the right path, will tell him what he needs to know. He will no longer be afraid of magic because he will know magic had absolutely nothing to do with his event.
And that event was.
When and where and how. These are the primary questions we always ask ourselves and ask others. The how first. As to the how, the Comarch has been protected throughout his entire time here on Talus by a very formidable bodyguard. But that bodyguard mysteriously disappeared a week ago. And when it did, he was vulnerable. An attempt was made on his life, and as we understand it, that attempt was unsuccessful, but shook him to the core. Without his bodyguard, who has not returned, he feels he could be overthrown at any point. He needs to know he has allies, that not everyone is an enemy. You will help us establish that.
And so instead of looking for allies, he made enemies?
He has retreated into a very safe or presumed safe location, but in point of fact, he has put himself within arm's reach of those who want to do the most harm. He is nested amongst the vipers. What can I answer for you? What questions do you have?
With this, Liam and Fazire have come into the room. It is upon returning, Liam, that it strikes you just so clearly. The face that you recognize is the face of a Greek philosopher. Something you studied in your Bacchus teachings. A Greek philosopher by the name of Aristotle.
Well, I think I brought her. She might be here somewhere, but hold on. You look so familiar.
I am surprised by that. There are very few who would know this face.
Oh, God, what your name? You taught things. I wasn't I'm not the studious type, but oh God. Aristotle?
He looks at you.
But how can you? But you're stone. That I'm confused.
You are wise. Your confusion is understandable. I am, or was, this Greek philosopher named Aristotle, but I also am a stone statue that calls itself Dolomite. I am amongst the three other Greek philosophers. We are the Greek Senate. Our transportation here to this place is both an indication of manifest destiny and a mystery even to ourselves.
So you are, but you aren't.
We live in between, just as we all do. You are not.
These other two of the three?
There are three others.
There are three others.
Yes.
They also hide out in basements and protect secret groups of wizards, or?
They are part of the PFT.
The what?
The PFT, the People's Front of Talus, a resistance organization founded to free Talus from the Traskin overlords.
Right, of course. We knew that.
Yeah.
Did we know that?
Wait, so if your other compatriots are against the Traskins, why are you trying to help the Traskins?
I am trying to make an ally with a Comarch. The Traskins have been intercepted and overthrown by an evil entity. They have been influenced.
Do you know the name of the entity?
She has many names. One of them is Shen.
Well, at least that's still correct. I mean,
Yeah, unfortunately.
Still correct. Do I take it to mean that things are different for you than they are for me?
they might have changed. We've been doing other stuff for so long.
Been traveling a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I said I was from the
got-
past, I really meant we were from the past and the future, and now.
What he means to say is we've been gone a while, then just got back, and things seem a little different.
I will choose to believe your interpretation. Though I know there are others.
Anyway, his name's Dolomite.
Yes.
Dolomite, maybe you can spot her, but if you, we brought in our associate Fazaya. If you could relay the information that you need her to do, or need us to do, but mostly it's going to be her.
Friend Tiefling, please come.
How can I help?
This message, and
In his stone hands, he is carrying a scroll that has been sealed.
this message is meant for the Comarch and the Comarch alone. It is a peace offering. It is information about his attackers. And it is an invitation. The center hold has very few entrances that are known. We know of a secret one. Using this entrance will get you into the lowest levels of one of these strongholds. We believe that Comarch Ashura Khan-san is there.
Okay, how do I know what they look like?
He will be in a room with a blue door. You cannot enter that room through that door. However, you will find a room near it. There is a secret passage to the room in that room.
Sure. I mean, that's all the information I need.
Be careful, there are patrols.
What else can you tell me about the stronghold?
It is protected by some form of magic inhibitor. We do not understand its use or its function or how it does what it does, but it is effective.
Great, no magic.
At least not until it can be turned off.
Can it be turned off?
We believe so. It uses electricity.
What?
Electricity is a power that can run many devices. The Traskins are well known for using this technology from where they come from to do things that some would call magic.
Okay, so how close is the blue door from where your secret entrance gets me?
We do not know for sure, but we believe it to be fairly close.
Do you have a map or anything, or I'm just going to go wandering around?
Good luck.
Sure. Sounds great. This is fine.
We will be providing you with some additional help.
And with that, the quiet, I would say silent member of this room was the elf who had been standing in the corner as a member of the Invisible Hand. He perks up and he says, I guess that's my cue. I'm Q. Hi. I have a few items for you. Things that might help you get into and out of this place safely. Please come with me. I have so much to show you. He leads you out. All right. So he is going to lead Fazire and anyone else who wants to follow across the communications room and into a series of halls and then doors until you get to something with a door stenciled with Q Labs and then the symbol for the Invisible Hand.